Yeah, go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck. And my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming, Vinny, 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 Vision. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. On my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. You niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the street. Jay Hollis do the street. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the lead. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And if my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We buy the bad, this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them
I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Lord's Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is I.S.U.P.K down in Florida. I'm capping the 10,000 Shamor Yahweh. We're here to let you know 53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commanded. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022. It's going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make a.
All right, shalom, shalom. Let's get started. Let's clap it up. All right, shalom, Canada. Yahweh Shim Yahshai Barakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Atham Bashim Yahshai to all the sisters. Priest and Officer Shari Yawan under Commanding General YAHANNA. And we are the I.S.U.P.K, which was started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. All right. And we are not affiliated with any other organization. We're not affiliated with any other Christian organization or Hebrew Israelite group. All right. The I.S.U.P.K is the only place on earth since 1969 that has the truth, the entire truth of the Bible. We are the only place since 1969 that is authorized to teach this Bible. All right, we read out of the 1611 King James Version. And again, we are not affiliated with any other organization. All right. This is Tuesday night brotherhood class. All right, every Tuesday night, brothers in I.S.U.P.K are teaching brotherhood, which is synonymous with sisterhood to our people being Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. That is our culture, that is our heritage, that is our history. All right, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the children of prophets. We are the children of famous men, of giants, men that are well-renowned. And they were well-renowned for obeying the Most High. Brothers like Abraham, brothers like Noah. All right, these brothers followed and obeyed the Most High. King David, Christ, all these brothers are Israelites. All right, and that is who we descend from, being Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, we read the Bible, we can learn about our history, learn about who we descend from, the history of our people, the wars we fought, the battles we won, the wars we lost. What happened to us as a people when we disobeyed the Most High, when we disobeyed our power. Things that happened to us when we obeyed the Most High. Different blessings we received for doing the will of the Most High, being obedient to everything that He commanded. All right? So this brotherhood class is for you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, and woman. That is what this class is for. And that is what the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is for. We are for our people. We are about Black love, brown love, loving our people, giving our loves to ourselves and nobody else, at least until we're healed as a nation. All right? We don't have time to give our love to these other nations. We are a people who are living in the bottom of society, living in ghettos, barrios, and reservations, with a whole bunch of chaos in our communities. We are a people that need salvation. We are a people that need healing. We are a people that need leadership. We have lacked that for too long in our community, and that is what the I.S.U.P.K offers. We are the real men of the Lord who obey Him and follow Him and do what it is He commands. Teach what it is He commands us to teach. Say what it is He commands us to say, just as the prophets of old. All right? So this brotherhood class is about teaching our people how to interact with one another. These laws, statutes, and commandments that we read about in the Bible, they teach our people to have morals, to have a moral compass. They teach us how to interact with one another, how to be compassionate for one another, how to forgive one another, how not to hold grudges against one another, how not to steal from one another, sleep with another man's wife, what to eat, what not to eat, how to be clean. That is what we learn when we read the Bible. All right. Hey, Shalom, Barakiala, Yabashim and Shabrakatha.
Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yashabakatah.
Yeah, what's going on, word?
Everything go wild by the one.
Most High in Christ. All right, we're just about to get started. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about relationships, sex being marriage according to the Bible, multiple wives, how to deal with our wives, deal with our women, deal with our husbands. All right. And we're going to shed light on some of the nonsense and the garbage that they teach in the world. All right. If you could, Barack Allah, can you grab Romans chapter 15 and verse 4?
Canada Wakan.
All right. This whole Bible that we read out of is for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it is our wisdom. All right. We read in the book of John, it says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It says in the book of Hosea that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What is that knowledge? That knowledge is the laws, statutes, and commandments. That is our wisdom in the sight of the nations. And when we learn the truth of who we are as a people, who it is we need to obey, who to serve and who not to serve, when we learn that truth, we will be free. Right now, we've been in bondage for over 400 years. We are the children of slaves. We are the children of oppressed people. We are an oppressed people today. And we need freedom. All right. Go ahead and read that when you got it.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Salakia, 1 second. Just pull it on my Bible. Book of Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Read that again, Baba Kasha.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Khan, the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. There is something that you can learn from reading this Bible. You understand? What Moses wrote about, what Joshua wrote, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Hosea, Micah, Malachi, right? King Solomon, King David, all these brothers that we read about in the Bible, the things that they wrote for us and recorded for us, whether it be them or their scribes, these things were written for our learning. This book is written to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's written to the Israelites. And the things that were written are for our learning. Keep reading.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
Come. There is a hope that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans do not have. A lot of the future is very dim for our people. Depression is huge amongst our community. Brothers and sisters with all different types of mental illness, being depressed, suffering from different trauma, right? Hope is very dim for a lot of our people. And it's because they don't have the hope from the scriptures. They don't understand that their salvation is coming. They don't understand that God loves them. You got Native Americans who have to sit there every Thanksgiving and hear that God loves, or Salaki, the Native Americans have to sit and hear every Thanksgiving. They have to listen to people give thanks to God for slaughtering their people. What hope do those people have? They don't believe that God loves them. You understand? Which is why Thanksgiving is so evil. Which is why we need to learn who we are as a people. What it is we're supposed to be doing and what it is we're not supposed to be doing. When you find out you're a child of God, you are an Israelite that the Bible speaks of, and the Most High loves you. The Most High has a special place in his heart for you. The Most High has promises for you, right? A good future for you. You understand that the Bible says, I desire good things for you, a good end for you. You understand? Right now, we might lack hope as a people, but if we get in the I.S.U.P.K and start to learn who we really are, there is a lot of hope in these scriptures. Read that verse again, Baba Kasha.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Come. Right? There's a lot we can learn from this Bible. There's a lot we can learn about relationships. A lot we can learn about marriage. A lot we can learn about how to treat our wives. And for our wives, how to treat your husband. That is what we can learn from reading these scriptures. Keep reading.
Through patience and comfort of the scriptures, by hope.
Come. There's a lot of people, a lot of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right, who do not believe in marriage. They do not believe that they can maintain a long-lasting, healthy relationship, long-lasting, healthy marriage. They don't have that hope because they saw their aunts get divorced, their uncles get divorced, their brothers get divorced, sisters get divorced. They seen their fathers beat their mothers, mothers beat the fathers, mothers berate the husband, right? Like all different craziness inside of our households, right? All different craziness amongst our marriages. And so we lack a lot of hope as a people. But there genuinely is good news, and it's that there are rules and guidelines that govern Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that teach us how to truly love one another, truly how to appreciate one another, how to uplift the Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, uplift the Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman. Give each other hope. Give each other identity, purpose. Teach each other how to interact with one another. How to be slow to anger, quick to hear, slow to anger, not bearing grudges against one another, forgiving one another, being long-suffering for one another. There are practical things that we can learn from reading this Bible that will teach us how to have a successful and healthy marriage, how to fix the Black household. That's why it's so important that we pick up these books that are just collecting dust in our house, these Bibles that are just sitting there, and we pick it up and we read it and we follow it. If you could, grab 2 John and verse 6. 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6.
Kawakan is the book of 2 John chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
This is how we love each other as a people. Your pastor that's telling you to throw the Old Testament away, well, it says in the New Testament, from your beloved Apostle Paul, what was written aforetime was written for our learning. Don't throw away the old book. Don't throw away that Old Testament. Don't throw away the law, statutes, and commandments. There are things that we can learn from it. Read that verse again.
2 John chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
How are you going to love your wife if you throw out the Old Testament? How are you going to love your husband if you throw out the Old Testament? The Christian church is the house of Satan. You cannot learn to be in a healthy, successful marriage if you are listening to Pastor Porkchop. Pastor Porkchop who's sleeping with everybody's wife in the congregation, telling you to get rid of the laws, statutes, and commandments, yet he's going to tell you to pay your tithes. Your pastor is a hypocrite. And Christ spoke about hypocrites, spoke about the hypocrisy that puffs up a man, that puffs up the Pharisees, and how evil it is. Your pastor is supposed to lead you. Your pastor is supposed to shepherd you. But how can he remove the beam that's in your eye if he doesn't remove the beam that's out of his? You understand? Your Christian pastor is a hypocrite. He cannot teach you how to love your wife. He cannot teach you how to submit to your husband. He cannot teach you how to have a healthy marriage. Which is why you look at some of the statistics today, I'm not surprised if it's damn near closer to 60% of people getting divorced. I remember hearing a stat back when I was in the world that 2 out of every 3 people are getting a divorce. In the world, you think to go sign that government contract and say I do, more chances than not, your relationship is not going to make it. Your marriage is not going to last. It's not going to make it. And we see that in our community. We see the destruction in our community. All these Black, Hispanic, and Native American children being raised up in single-parent households, raised up without a father to discipline them and protect them and guide them, to set rules and order inside the household. There's a lot of things that we are missing inside our community, which is why we don't have hope. We don't read the laws, statutes, and commandments and obey them, which is why we don't have hope. We don't understand what the knowledge of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are, and how powerful it is, how beautiful a thing it is. It's a disgusting thing that our oppressor would have us believe that we were swinging off trees, living inside caves and mountains, living in jungles, half naked, running around everywhere, uncivilized, and that these civilized oppressor, this civilized European man came over and conquered us and taught us how to act, gave us religion, showed us how to marry, show us how to be in a marriage and how to raise our kids, how to treat our wives. It's a disgusting thing to think that you didn't have a beautiful culture before slavery, that you didn't have your own culture, your own way of life. For an example, it is an extremely natural thing for a man to have multiple wives. It is an extremely natural thing for a Black, Hispanic, or Native American man to have multiple wives. But you following your oppressor, you believe in this monogamy. You believe in his paperwork. You believe in his diamond ring. You follow your slave master. You follow your oppressor. You follow his ways and it destroys you. There's nothing wrong with a man having multiple wives. Think of how many relationships were ended because a man went out and had sex with another woman. Think about how bitter your mother was because her husband, your father, slept with another woman. And she told you your whole life, oh, don't take that ish from a man. Don't stay with a man that does X, Y, and Z to you. Yet she keeps her mouth closed and stays with her husband. She's been married 40 years. And she's telling you, don't ever let a man treat you like this. Your father's garbage. Your father's this. He's that. He doesn't know how to love me. He doesn't listen to me. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't listen to my emotions, how I'm feeling, this and that. He doesn't date me, doesn't take me here, doesn't buy this for me. Paint your father like some wicked man, telling you that he should be more like his oppressor. Our households are so dysfunctional today, and we are in desperate need of some wisdom, some guidance, some real leadership. And that's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. Right? What verse are you holding?
2 John chapter 1, verse 6.
Drop that, grab Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1.
Wakana. It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
This Bible that we read is the commandments of God. Read that again.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
That is what this Bible is. This Bible is a history of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It has our history. It has our Constitution, our laws, statutes, and commandments. It has our laws, how we govern ourselves, how to be a civilized people. This is our culture. And this is what we need to hold on to. We're in 2022, following our oppressors' ways. And what good is it doing our households? It is such a precious thing to find a Black, Hispanic, and Native American marriage that has lasted 60, 70 years and is healthy. Where kids didn't grow up in that household watching their parents yell at each other, scream and fight and throw ish at each other. It is damn near non-existent. We've been missing morals. We've been missing guidelines. We've been missing rules as a people. We carry ourselves so freely, and we wonder why nothing works for us. It's like if you wanted to learn to be a mechanic, you wanted to learn how to operate on a car, you go to school. You go to school and you learn about cars. You take an apprenticeship. You study under somebody. You watch how a man works on a car, how he fixes a car, shows you what goes where, how to do this, what this tool does, get some hands-on experience. You start to learn how to operate that car. That is how you learn to do something. That is how you be successful as a person. What manual does Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have to be successful in their marriages? You got women turning on Steve Harvey for marriage advice. You got women going to Oprah and watching different podcasts, which we're going to get into a bit. This podcast called Fresh and Fit. All right. Our people are looking all over for some leadership, some guidance. All right, read that verse again.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
And the law that endureth forever. You understand? This law endures forever. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, they need to be following the laws, statutes, and commandments. These laws govern us forever. You understand? This is our wisdom in the sight of the nations. This is our rule book to life. How to be successful at it. Right? So I got some videos. We're gonna check out. Right? I want to make sure to let everybody know that we do not own the rights to any of these videos. We do not own the rights to any of these videos. And some of the commentary that I'll be doing on these videos is original. You understand? This is commentary coming from the I.S.U.P.K. We're not affiliated with any other group, and we do not own any of the rights to this video. All right? If you want to check out these videos for yourself, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Fresh and Fit. All right? These men that run this podcast have their own YouTube channel. You can check it out. I do not whatsoever promote anything that they say or teach. I think the things that they talk about are absolutely disgusting. The way they portray women is disgusting. Their advice to men and women is disgusting. You understand? And I am just sharing these videos for teaching purposes. All right. We can check out this first video. Let's get right into it. All right. So this is from a podcast called Fresh and Fit. You can look up Fresh and Fit on YouTube. And this particular video is on how to maintain a long-term relationship. All right. One of the reasons that we're pulling up this video today is because it appears that this is a very popular radio station amongst Blacks. All right. This is one of the highest watched shows or highest watched podcasts amongst our people. And it's a damn shame that our people are actually listening to this garbage. All right. Actually, Brock, all if you could grab one more verse for me. You could grab Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1.
Wakanda. is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord.
Read that again.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Lord.
God. This leadership that we have amongst Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they scatter our people. They destroy our people. They have us going every which way but towards the Father. All right. If you could grab one more verse, grab John 10 and verse 14. Right? These pastors that we have, these leaders that we have, they're destroying us as a people. And the Most High says, woe unto the pastors that scatter my flock. Woe means death and destruction. There's a punishment for these leaders that are destroying the nation of Israel. You understand? There is a judgment for everything that we do here on earth. And these pastors that lead us into destruction, they are going to be destroyed. Go ahead and read that verse.
Slovakia, what was the first other one?
John 10 and verse 14.
Khan.
There are verses all throughout the Bible that speak about how poor the leadership of Israel is, how poor the leadership of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is. And leadership is one of the most important things that we need as a people, right? All throughout the scriptures, we are defined as sheep, right? Metaphorically defined as sheep. And if you just look at the nature of a sheep, right? A sheep is very lost without leadership, very lost without a shepherd. And that is what our people are without good leadership. Our people get into all sorts of trouble without good leadership. Why we're in gangs, we're drug dealers, filling up the prison systems, marriages won't last, poor relationships with our kids, our family. Our whole nation right now is destroyed. Right? Go ahead and read that verse.
John chapter 10, verse 14. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
Come. Some of the hope we have in the scriptures is knowing that we have a good shepherd. That good shepherd is Christ, our King. He is the greatest leader that we have of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And here today, under Commanding General YAHANNA, that is our leader. Christ is the head of the church. He is the head of Commanding General YAHANNA. And Commanding General YAHANNA gives orders to the church. Commanding General YAHANNA, he obeys Christ. He does what he says. And he teaches us to do the same. You understand? Christ is a good shepherd. Christ is that good leadership that we need. And we as a people need to stop making excuses as to why we are going to disobey Christ, why we are going to disobey the Most High. I can't number how many times I tell people pork is bad for you. The Most High says pork is an abomination. Swine is an abomination. Don't eat it. Don't touch it. It is bad for you. And Black people want to sit here and make excuses as to why I can't stop eating it. Oh, I'm not ready yet to give up pork. Or I don't have the money to give up pork. Maybe I'll make it a New Year's resolution next year. Whatever stupid reasons we come up with as a people, this is why we are destroyed. Yeah, let's get into this video.
You must control the frame at all times. And
Have
set
to.
all terms with
Have to.
everything you do with the girl.
Right. So again, this is their podcast. We are not affiliated with them. Right. We are giving our own commentary on this video. And this video, again, it's speaking about relationship advice. This man right here, who is a heathen according to the Bible. This is not a man from the nation of Israel. And if you go through his podcast, you can clearly see how much distaste, how much hatred he has for the daughters of Zion, the children of Israel. He does not love our people. And this is not a man that you should be following or listening to. All right?
Everything.
Everything.
You want to take it first?
So, guys, rotations, right, is all about you being in charge and taking lead. Because if you don't take lead, how can they follow you? So, all girls that you talk to, right, you'll maybe go on a day or two, you like her, but she's the one making the plans. She's the one making all the choices. And it's like, yo, like, I don't want this nigga to lead me. So, off rip, when you go on the first time date, make sure you're in charge. You set the date, and all game really is, bro, is having a game plan of how the date goes and how it's going to end.
Quick pause. This brother right here, this lost brother right here, who I believe is an Israelite, I think he's from the tribe of Benjamin. Some of the first relationship advice he is giving. The first thing you do with a sister is make sure that you maintain control. Is that supposed to be some beautiful, great hidden gem that is going to fix the nation of Israel? That's going to fix the problems of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? That a man maintain control of a relationship? That's his first piece of advice? Raquel, if you could grab, I think it's Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 10.
Khan.
Yeah, let's pull that out really quick. Proverbs 31 and verse 10.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Who can find a virtuous woman? That is a question to every Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Right? Let's look up this word virtuous. All right, hold that verse really quick. All right. Because these things that were written aforetime, they were written for us to learn. They were written for us to make wise decisions. All right. Proverbs 31 and 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? This word virtuous, all right, kayal in the Hebrew, it means strength, might, efficiency, wealth, ability, probably a force, means or other resources, wealth, valor, able activity, forces, goods, strong substance, right? These are the words associated with being virtuous, right? Read that from the top.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Come. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, you need to be searching for a virtuous woman. All right? That is the number one thing that you need to do as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Right? Book of Ecclesiasticus says, don't stumble at a woman's beauty. There's nothing wrong with a sister looking bod, just beautiful. Right? All our sisters look beautiful. Some look amazing. Don't let her beauty be a stumbling block. Don't trip up on her beauty. Don't let her beauty be a reason that you do not find a virtuous woman. Don't let her beauty be a reason you don't marry a woman of integrity. You don't start courting a woman of integrity. That's where we need to start as a people. And this is part of the issue in our community. I was watching one of their podcasts earlier, and they were asking some of these women on their show, is dating dead? Is dating over? And a lot of these young sisters were saying, yeah, 2022, dating's pointless. Dating doesn't really start till you're over the age of 30. That's what our people have learned following their oppressor, have learned following the ways of North and South Central America, following these philosophies and ideologies. That we're just going to be done with dating, done with courting. Nowadays, you become a young woman of marital age. You become a man. Now you're ready to marry a woman in your youth, in your prime. In 2022, we're going to waste that time. We're going to waste it on being promiscuous. Waste it on being a whore, sleeping with everything that walks. You're a man, sleeping with all these different women and throwing them away. Turn the daughters of Zion into whores. We as a people go against our God, go against our power, following the ways of this society. All right, read that verse again.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Read.
For her price is far above rubies.
Come. You're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Understand that a ruby is precious. This fake so-called Jewish man living in Israel, he'd have you believe that diamonds are forever. Diamonds are precious. It's the most precious rock known to man. No, it is not. Diamonds are everywhere. But a ruby is a very rare thing to find. A ruby is a very beautiful stone. And that is the type of woman you need to be looking for. Read that verse one more time.
Proverbs chapter 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
We need to be searching for virtuous women. You understand? And if you're a sister, you need to be searching for an honorable man, a righteous brother. And in order to do that, we need to change the way that we act. We need to learn how to love, learn how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We need to repent like Christ told us, that good shepherd. Turn away from our sins and start obeying the Most High. We need to become virtuous ourselves. And then love our neighbor like ourselves. Right? If you could, Barak Allah, grab Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man.
Read. Read till the end of the verse.
Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Come. You sisters, you should be looking for a brother that's going to take away your reproach. Right? Take away your reproach. Take away that evil thing that's inside of you. You should be looking for a righteous brother that can lead you, guide you, teach you how to be righteous. Right? Read this verse from the top. Let's break this verse down.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man.
7 women shall take hold of one man. These things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. There is nothing wrong with a man having multiple wives. There's nothing wrong with a man being married to 7 women. There's nothing wrong with a man not having a wife. A man having 1 wife, 2 wives, 20 wives. A man can do as he pleases. You understand? Keep reading.
Saying, we will eat our own bread.
Come. What is our own bread? That's saying that our own bread is money, right? So we say that sometimes in the world, right? Got to make that bread, right? Your bread is your money. Keep reading.
And wear our own apparel.
Come. This is what these women will be saying. We'll eat our own bread and we'll wear our own apparel, right? Brachial, if you could take a guess, what type of woman is this? What is this woman saying?
So like I don't, what was that?
What is this woman saying here? She's saying that these women will be saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Like, what does that sound like in 2022?
In 2022, there's some that could take care of themselves.
God, Most High in Christ, right? When this time comes, these women are going to be cleaving to a man, looking for a man. And when they find him, they're going to be saying, we make our own money. We pay our own bills. We take care of ourselves. I got my own car, my own clothes, right? Keep reading.
Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Khan. But the only thing that we desire, what we are looking for in a man, just please let us be called by your name. Please let me take on your last name. Please take me as a wife and teach me how to be righteous. You sisters should be looking for a righteous, honorable brother, a man that can lead and guide you and teach you how to be righteous, how to be presentable to the Most High. That's why it says that a woman should cover her head, so that a woman is letting the Most High know that I am in order. I am submitting to my husband, and he is teaching me and guiding me to be righteous. That is my head, and I obey him. So that when a sister prays, her prayers don't go unanswered. She can present herself to the Most High because she's in order. And that is the most valuable thing that you can have in 2022, is to be a man or woman of integrity, an honorable brother, an honorable sister, a virtuous woman, a brother that can lead his wife, lead his household, and teach them how to be righteous. You understand? Let's keep going on with this podcast.
So same thing when you plays for rotation. The game never ends. You're always gaming the girl, even when you're married, even when you're in a relationship. You're always gaming the girl. So first step when you're on your game is to decide, hey, you know what? This date I'm taking her to this bar, then my house. Vice versa. This date she's coming straight to the house. We smashing. The point is you have game in your head already from the jump. Or what are you gonna do? That.
Salakia. And this is another thing that just absolutely destroys our community. Let me play that back a little.
Bar, then my house. Vice versa. This date, she's coming straight to the house. We smashing.
We smashing. Right? This is what this brother is saying. We go on dates. We go here. We go to this bar. Go to that bar. Get some food. Come to the crib. We're smashing. Like, that's such a normal thing. How many women are out here are talking about getting their body count up? How many brothers out here just sleeping with any and everything and throwing these women away? (2022) This place is way too over sexualized. We live in a time where everything is over sexualized. They're ready to teach our kids in elementary school, right from the age of Salakia, right from the grade of like kindergarten, grade 1, start teaching them about same-sex marriage. It's normal for a child to have 2 daddies, all this different garbage. Sex this, sex that, you see it everywhere. Turn on a video game, sex is everywhere. This is the society that we live in. We're just sleeping with any and everything is so normal. But what did Christ say? Christ said it wasn't like this from the beginning. From the beginning, it was meant for a man to lay down with his wife and to be with her forever. Wasn't meant for us to divorce our women. When you lay down with a sister, that is sex according to the Bible. Right? If you could, Barak Yalla, grab Genesis 29 and verse 18. These things that were written aforetime, they were written for our learning. But we didn't have to get caught up in all these different traps of life, all these different traps of our oppressor, all these different things that destroy us as a people. All right. We're going Genesis chapter 29. Genesis 29 and start at 18.
Karawakan, this is Genesis chapter 29, verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter.
All right. Jacob is your forefather. Understand? Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. This is who we descend from. This is our history. And our forefather, he loved Rachel. And he told Laban, I will serve thee 7 years so that I could have your daughter Rachel. He wasn't speaking about smashing on the third date. He wasn't telling other brothers and sisters to take a sister to this bar, have a drink here, take her to the next bar, drink this, go to the crib, smash, next day. Jacob did not talk like this. Jacob did not act like this, didn't move like this. Jacob was a brother of honor, of integrity. That is who we descend from. A brother who was willing to work 7 years to have the woman that he desired. How many brothers and sisters in the world today are smashing the same day that they meet? Go to a club, you wake up the next day at 12 because you drank too much. You look over, you don't even know who you slept with that night. You look over at the bed beside you like, who is this?
Hey, Shalom, Aki. I'm Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Hey, shalom, Adam.
Shalom, Adam Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
God, you understand? Like this is the disgusting things that we did in the world. But our forefather, no, he wasn't just just picking up girls in bars and sleeping with them that night. This was an honorable brother who told Laban, I'm willing to work 7 years to be able to have this sister. Keep reading.
Verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I gave her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me.
Come, and this is our culture. This is our history. That a daughter was looked at as a possession to her father. Father looked at his daughter as one of his greatest possessions, one of his greatest assets. Why? Because who can find a virtuous woman? This virtuous woman, she will add unto you. She will add unto your stature. She will add unto your height. She will give you peace. She will give you rest. She will work hard for you. She will make your life easier. She will give you rest. She will help you. She'll be your greatest assistant. And if you want this possession, you got to work hard for her. I'm not giving her up for nothing because she works hard for me. I know who my daughter is. I know who I raised. All right, keep reading.
Verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her.
Some of you brothers, you can't wait a week. You brothers can't wait a month. Imagine waiting 7 years.
Right.
Not only did this brother wait 7 years, he said this was nothing. This 7 years of work only felt like a few days to have this virtuous woman, this woman that's far above rubies. 7 years was nothing to Jacob. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, my days fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
God. And Jacob said, after he was done working for Laban, he said, give me my wife. I put in the work. This is my dowry that I'm giving you. This is the payment that I'm giving you for this valuable asset, for this precious daughter of Zion, this precious Black, Hispanic, and Native American sister. He said, give me my wife so that I can lay down with her, so I can make this official. She belongs to me now. You want relationship advice? Look in the Bible. Don't go to this Fresh and Fit podcast. Don't listen to your oppressor. These things that were written aforetime were written for your learning. This is your knowledge in the sight of the nations. You understand? This is how relationships need to work amongst Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Right? Let's keep going with this podcast.
The point is, you have game in your head already from the jump, or what are you going to do? That's taking leadership and controlling the frame. That's one segment. Number two is, if she tells you, hey, you know what are we? As you said earlier, what's the frame? Now you decide the terms. So, hey, you know what? At this point,
Salakia, let me take a quick pause. Brachiala, grab Genesis 24, verse 67.
Karawakan.
This brother on the podcast, he just set me up. He's asking, what are we? we just laid down together. We just smashed. What are we? Go ahead and read that verse when you got it.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became
what?
his wife.
And did what?
And took Rebekah.
Right. Isaac smashed. You understand? Isaac laid down with his sister. He had sex with his sister. And she what?
And she became his wife.
That's what we are now. You want the answer, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man? You lay down with his sister, that is your wife. You pick up the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, you look up the definition of marriage. The definition of marriage is continually having sex.
And Salaki.
Sex is... Concert, Slack, you wanted to say something?
Khan, I'll let you finish your statement first.
Concert. Sex not only consummates the marriage, but sex is what nourishes a marriage. Right? You make love to that sister, you lay down with that sister. That is how you nourish that relationship. That is how you stay connected with your partner. Sex is marriage according to the Bible. Go ahead, sir.
Khan, that's damn right. Sex is marriage. That's how you nourish a relationship, right? It Salakia, like what I was gonna say is like Mary and Joseph did the same thing, right?
Okay.
That the angel told Joseph that that's your wife now, right? The verse above that of that in Matthew 18, it was his espoused to be wife, right?
Okay.
The next thing I was gonna say is in the court of law, right? Even if a brother and sister go to the courthouse and they sign the paper, they do the ceremony, they exchange the rings and the vows. If they don't have sex, they can have their marriage annulled with
Right.
no penalties,
Right.
right? No one will have to pay anybody anything because they were never married.
Okay.
Salakia.
Okay. So Salaka, that's so heavy. What you're saying is that not only does the Most High say sex is marriage, but even this wicked kingdom understands that sex is marriage.
Right.
Right. You don't have sex with that brother or sister after you say I do and sign that contract. Government says no sweat, you can get it annulled. You understand? Because they understand there's something very valuable in making love to your spouse, right? And Salaki, this government paper that we have, it is such an evil and disgusting thing. In that, as a man, just think about how Salaki, what's that word?
The
Demasculating,
meaning?
demeaning. God, absolutely. Think of how demeaning it is for a man to have to ask permission from somebody else to stay with his woman. Ask permission from his oppressor.
Right.
Ask if it's okay, if I'm allowed. Salakia, master. Excuse me, master. Is it okay if I stay with this woman for the rest of my life?
Sounds like the plantation again.
Good night. That is, you are setting yourself up for disaster if you
Right.
believe in that garbage. You are getting ready to sign that paper where all the other 60-70% of people got divorced in. You are walking down that same plank, walking off that same cliff as every other Black, Hispanic, and Native American did. You understand? That piece of paper in the eyes of the government is a contract. That is the customs of Romans, the customs of a European man, where they would look at their wives, their spouse, as some kind of business transaction. But that is not the history and culture of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This oppressor's way of life is bad for us, and it is
Right.
destroying us. And we see it today. Right? And as a sister, you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American sister, and you believe in that garbage, that piece of paper confirms that you are married. What are you saying about your body? Are you saying that a piece of paper is more valuable than your body? That a government contract is more valuable than your body? Some piece of paper that you sign is more valuable than you? This oppressor's way of life is so evil for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and so demeaning to our people. Proverbs 31:10 says that a virtuous woman, her value is far above rubies. Who can find that, sister? They're going to tell me that a piece of paper is more valuable than you? You are setting yourself up for failure if you follow the ways of this white man, this oppressor. All right? So, okay, let's keep going on this video.
Let's just see where it goes. I'm not ready for that right now. That's controlling the frame. Or you could say, hey, you know what? I think you are a good candidate. I vetted you properly. You know what I'm saying? You seem pretty chill.
You've been vetted for this job.
Yeah, exactly. It's a job. These are my standards. And she can walk away. The point is, you're never buckling to her demands. You're the one in control. And then thirdly, regarding the frame, picture this, right? For rotations, they're going to test you. I guarantee you, bro, she can test. She can be like, you know what? I know you other girls, but I'm going to give them an ultimatum. Like, hey, if you don't pick me, I'm going to just leave. Leave then, bitch. Go ahead.
You leave then.
At that point, you're controlling.
Salakia.
Khan, go ahead, sir.
Salakia, like this brother, he says some of the most like ridiculous stuff, right? Like he's trying to make it seem as if he's the person to go to for dating advice, right? When if you know the history of this brother, right, he's gonna tell you he doesn't like LaQuisha's and Shaniqua's, right? But a cave Becky that basically has a seeking arrangements profiles, right? So she can get money from older men to go have arrangement with them. That's what he's gonna praise.
God. And Salaki, I got that video on cue.
Good night.
We're gonna pull that video up. Right. And what Salaki, what I wanted to touch on with what he just said is that, again, you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American. This is not the place to go to get relationship advice.
Right.
Right. Brock, y'all, if you could grab Genesis 3 and verse 16.
Khan.
This is some Salaki, like my Ottawa officer Aban says, this is real game right here.
Right.
Right? You're Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. I'm about to give you some real game. Right? Go ahead and read that verse.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And thy desire shall be unto thy husband.
And thy desire shall be towards thy husband. You want real game, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, understand this. That it is natural and it is built inside of a woman to desire her husband. All right? Keep reading.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. You want to know something about these Black, Hispanic, and Native American sisters? Something that this brother right here doesn't understand? This brother right here would have you believe that these sisters are just acting out for no reason. That these sisters are just testing you. Saying, oh, where are you going? Let me see your cell phone. Who are you with? Who are you talking to? You want to know why she's so worried about who you're talking to? Because she doesn't want to lose you.
Facts.
A woman has a fear of losing her protection. Read the last part of that verse again.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men, we are built to protect our women. The reason we rule over these sisters is so that we can help them make good decisions. Make good decisions for them. Guide them and protect them. Not to be naive. Not to get screwed over because they're naive. Like Eve did following that serpent, that snake. A woman has a natural desire for her husband so that she can be protected. The reason why all these sisters are out here looking for these quote-unquote high-value men, a man who makes 100+ K a year, it's because that is her protection. A woman in 2022, she is not protected by that piece of paper. So why these sisters are going so damn crazy once you sign that paper? When you say, I do. These sisters don't know how to deal with that because they are not protected. You want to know what protects a sister? Keeping her husband. Keeping a man. How do I keep a man in 2022? Oh, let me be his baby mama. Let me poke a hole in this condom so that I can get pregnant.
Good night.
So that I can have this brother for the next 30 years of my life.
Salakia, she's trying to get hot sauce.
God.
Good night.
God. You understand? These sisters, 2022, they don't have any protection from our men. They don't have any protection because we've been following the white man. We've been following our oppressor and the philosophies that he teaches us. These sisters don't have protection. You want to know real game? Real game is what Officer Zabadia said to his woman. He said, I'm going to be with you till your hair turns gray. Salaki, I'm paraphrasing. You understand? But
Salakia, you giving out cheat codes, man. You gotta get it all back to that one, man. Salakia, you can't be giving out cheat codes like that. That's a full cheat code.
God, Baraka Allah, you wanna give your woman some sense of peace? Just tell her that I am going to be with you till the day that I die. Give her the protection that she's looking for. That will take away 70% of her anxiety. It might take away so much of her anxiety that it might actually open a door for her to trust you, to be able to submit to you, to follow you and obey you. Because maybe I can actually trust this brother. Maybe he's not going to throw me away. Maybe he's actually going to protect me and not throw me away like every other man did.
Right.
That's real game. This brother right here trying to give you relationship advice. He sees a woman acting out. He don't know how to deal with it. So, Lucky, let me play that back. Let me hear what this man's advice was.
I guarantee you, bro, she can test. She can be like, you know what? You're never buckling to her demands. You're the one in control. And then thirdly, regarding the frame, picture this, right? For rotations, they're gonna test you. I guarantee you, bro, she can test. She can be like, you know what? I know he got other girls, but I'm gonna give him an ultimatum. Like, hey, if you don't pick me, I'm gonna leave. Leave then, bitch. Go
You
ahead.
should leave then.
And there's your relationship advice. Just leave. We're never gonna actually fix our issues.
So Salakia, if I may,
Come on, concert.
this is the thing, Akim. He doesn't want the sister in the first place.
Right.
That's why he's telling her to leave. Right? He's telling her to leave because he has no intentions of keeping that sister, of protecting that sister. First off, it's not even a sister. He's talking to a heathen.
Good night, Con.
So, and let's just face like reality, right? Majority of brothers don't need to have a yacht, a Lamborghini to get a sister. This brother thinks he needs all of that, right? Because the sisters that he wants, in reality, don't want him.
Right. Con, sir. The water, sir. What you're saying is so real and true. You understand? This is what the I.S.U.P.K has to offer our brothers and sisters. This is real leadership, right? Real knowledge. Something that will actually change us. Something that will actually help us, right? Like Paul said, what was written for aforetime was written for our learning so that we could have some hope. You understand? You're not going to get any hope listening to Fresh and Fit. Listening to their relationship advice, listening to your pastor, listening to Steve Harvey. You understand? Whatever other things you find in the world, these things are not going to fix Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It has proven all this different relationship advice we get doesn't work.
Right.
When are we as a people just going to finally say, I'm going to do whatever I can to obey the Most High? Follow his blueprint for success. And Fresh and Fit, they don't have it. All right, Raquel, if you could hold Deuteronomy 22 and verse 28, Baba Kasha. Just hold that verse for me, Baba Kasha. Because what Officer Zabadi was saying was so heavy too. Right? We got to be so careful about who we listen to.
God.
Right? Christ said, Salaki, Officer Zabadi, could you find that verse for me? Even if the blind follow the blind, both shall fall into a ditch.
God, that hole's gonna be deep. Hold on, let me find that for you. I got a preset for you as well. As soon as you're finished with what you're pulling on.
Come on, concert the water. I'm just pulling up this video because what you were saying was so heavy, right? Like we got to be so careful about who we listen to, right? This podcast is one of the most popular podcasts amongst Blacks.
Salakia.
It's a damn shame that we're listening to this concert.
I just can keep it funky, man. I don't even think brothers who get women are watching this podcast.
Right. Concert.
Because they don't need that advice. You're a brother been pulling a sister since the preschool, since milk and cookies. If you're a brother that's been getting a sister's milk and cookies since they were giving out milk and cookies at recess, you ain't watching that.
So true, sir.
You should be telling them the advice.
God, that's so true, sir.
So I can. All those brothers are in the UPK. They're all in the UPK.
God.
So I got that preset for you. One moment.
Khan, you go ahead with that, sir.
Let me just get it.
If I could, sir, after you pull that precept, I'm gonna run this quick clip, the 50-second clip. Khan.
Matthew 15 and 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch.
Good night.
Right.
You are going to fall into a ditch following this leadership, following this man for advice on how to keep a long-lasting relationship. All right, this man right here, he is a disgusting man. He is a disgusting man that hates Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American women.
Right.
This is not your leader. He'll give you advice, but this man right here, he hates you, and we can hear it out of his own mouth.
He a Hamite too.
God. Oh, Salakia, is that a Hamite on his right? I wasn't sure.
The other, like the dark skinned brother, he from the islands. He a Benjamite, right?
Okay, God.
The other one, he a Cushite. He Ham, directly Ham.
Good night.
He from the bobblehead people. So that's why he don't like sisters, to keep it real.
Good night.
Which are traits of feminine women. What's her gram?
What's your gram? You love today.
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, just keep it real. I don't really date black girls. No, because like most black girls like.
And Salakia. Salakia. Where is this sister's protection?
That's deep.
Yeah, like this is part of the issue that we're bringing out tonight. Like just on that topic of protection, this sister right here, she needs a head. Like she has, what does it say in Psalms 83? These nations conspire together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Right.
These nations are here to destroy us. She is a straight up sheep, just left out for the slaughter. Surrounded by a whole bunch of heathen, surrounded by people that hate her, that would be happy to see her destruction. What does it say in the book of Joel? That these nations cast lots at our destruction. They cast lots. They sit back and they laugh. They gamble and they play games. They mock us as we're sitting here destroyed as a people. These nations hate us, and they take joy in our destruction.
Right.
Like this sister right here, like she is in desperate need of some protection. All right, Slovakia.
Annoying, how to put this, ratchet, and they don't know how to like be reserved. You're like the complete opposite.
You are not the stereotype. You are not the stereotype.
You are not the same. That's awesome.
So we'll give you that compliment too.
What's your Instagram?
Salakia, those words right there, you're not going to sit up there and disrespect my people. And then for me to just sit there and say, oh, thank you for complimenting me. Saying I'm not like the rest of my people. That is so demeaning. That is so degrading. Such a disgusting thing that they just said in front of the sister's face.
Right.
Salakia. Cancer.
Like, what is the worst part about what he just said is that is slave master rhetoric.
Right?
Right. That was the Hamite that said that, right?
I play it back really quick. I'm not sure.
Let's hit that one more time. Let's figure that out. That is slave master rhetoric to say you're one of the good niggas.
Good night.
Like you're not like the ones that are breaking into my house. You hold the door open for me. You're one of the good niggas. Like that's terrible.
You're like the complete opposite.
You are not the stereotype. You are not the
Salakia, that's a brother saying that.
Good night.
You are
stereotype.
not the same. That's awesome.
So yeah, so we'll give you that compliment too.
What's
It's
your
a pleasure.
Instagram?
It's Crystal.
What about the black dating app called Black? Oh, it's funny. I never used that one, bro. But hey, man.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that.
Man.
We ain't night riders.
Nah,
so
bro, I'm good.
Sometimes if they're red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark. If you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Right. Harriet would have shot that brother.
Salakia, anything you wanted to bring up?
I was just gonna say Harriet would have shot that brother, right? He said they into the Shaniquas. Listen, bring all the Shaniquas over here. We'll take
I'll take all of them.
Keep your Hamite hands off the Shaniquas, like straight up. You listen. A lioness is not going to lay with a what is that man would be a hyena. Right, a lioness is not laying with a hyena. Right, and that's probably the issue. He doesn't know how to check a sister. Right, and that brother, man, that brother needs to gird up his loins and get in all black. Before it's too late, because he's about 2 seconds away from marrying some cave devil, and the cave devil giving him the Kanye West. The Ye, right? The Ye. What's his name now? Ye. He's about 2 seconds away from marrying some heathen, and she's saying, "I'm getting a divorce. I want all of the millions." Ye. So like, not to take over, but I got a precept right quick. Right, I'm gonna read it. This is 1 John 3:7. Little children, let no man deceive you. Right? Don't let anybody who just gets up in front of the camera deceive you. Judge these whoever you're listening to. Right? Listen, you should only be listening to Commanding General YAHANNA anyways.
Right.
But if you're not and you find yourself in the world, judge them by their character. Don't be deceived by the things that they say. Also, don't click any links in the chat that aren't from the UPK, right? Let no man deceive you. That Hamite, he's deceiving. He's making it seem like no, it's just my dating preference. No, you hate sisters. Listen, where he's from, they hate their own women anyways. So it's nothing for him to hate his sister, right? He that doeth righteousness is righteous. Those men aren't righteous. They buy sex. Right. So what they're really saying is they support child molestation, because we know every sister that's in the sex trade, right, has been molested at some point in her life. Right. So those brothers buying prostitutes, Salakia, those brothers buying sex, they're not righteous, right? That brother is not righteous. That Hamite, who gives a damn about that Hamite, is righteous, right? So he that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. Right? Going to verse 8 right quick. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Right? The UPK is here to teach brothers and sisters that sex is marriage, and you're not supposed to sleep with a sister and throw her away. You're not supposed to go to a heathen for relationship advice. If you want relationship advice, get in all black, put some fringes on your dress, and listen to whatever General Muhammad says.
Right.
That's the best relationship advice you'll ever get. And UPK marriages, good night. They go to the grave.
God.
Like, there's no divorce over here. Listen, man. Listen, man. The UPK marriages, you're gonna have to love that sister. She throws your PS5 out the window.
God.
That's go buy a new one. Still gonna have to love that sister. Slovakia.
God. God. If I could, Salaki, if I could piggyback off what you're saying, Baraki Allah, if you, or Salaki, I got it. I'm going to go to Psalms chapter 91 and verse 1. It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." What Officer Abad is bringing out is heavy. Get into school and you obey General Mahaiman. You obey Commanding General Yahanna. You obey the men that are over you in the I.S.U.P.K. Because these brothers are your protection. These brothers are giving you the blueprint to dwell under the shadow of the Almighty, under His protection. Right? Gonna jump down to verse 4. It says, "He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler." Right? You want some protection. What does a shield do? It protects you. Protects you from the things of this world. Right? You want the Most High's protection? You need to get in this school. You're a brother, you need to put on all black.
Right.
Get in this school, say Khan out of one Khan. Get it under the protection of the Almighty. Because as of right now, the scriptures say our gates are in languish. The children of Israel, our leadership is destroyed. We don't have any gates. We don't have any protection. Nothing keeping out all these beasts of the field. All these beasts that are trying to prey on the children of Israel. All right? Salakia. Barakial, if you could grab Deuteronomy 22, or Salakia, are you holding a verse?
Khan Wakan, Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 28.
Khan. Yeah, I wanted to go there. Go ahead and read that. 22 verse 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found.
God, you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American brother. You find a damsel that is a virgin, a young woman of meritable age. You understand? And she is not betrothed. She is not engaged to another brother. Right? Even brothers today have enough sense to know. Right? You come up to a sister. Well, some brothers, Salakia, some brothers don't care. Some brothers will come up to you and they'll ask a sister. Right? You dating anybody? Do you have a man? You seen anybody? Right? This scripture is written for our learning. You're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American man. You find a young woman of meritable age. She doesn't have another man. Keep reading.
Verse 29. The man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her.
That's it. He's humbled that sister. I understand. He's seen her in one of her most, what's the word? Vulnerable, Khan. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You've seen a sister in one of her most vulnerable positions, or most vulnerable states. Right? You've uncovered that sister. You laid down with that sister. That is your woman. Understand? Those are the laws of the Most High. That is your wife for life.
Salakia, you break it, you buy it.
Damn right. Understand? You break it, you buy it. That is yours.
I think that needs to be a shirt.
God.
You break it, you buy it. Salakia. I'm gonna put it in the notes.
God, and that's so heavy. Like, that would fix everything in our community. That would fix the black household. You understand? That right there, that commitment, where brothers would actually be double thinking or just questioning, who am I about to lay down with? Right? Like, you fake Israelites out there. Some of you Israelite groups are so disgusting.
Right.
Trying to teach that sex isn't marriage. You understand what that does for a brother? To where he actually thinks in his mind, if I lay down with that sister, she is mine for life. Maybe I should take a second look at her. Maybe I should get to know her a little bit. What's in her mind? If she has any mental health issues, what she believes in, if you can deal with this sister or not, because once you lay down with her, that's it. It is such a beautiful thing, the blueprint that the Most High laid down for us. And we got to stop making excuses not to follow it, not to obey the Most High.
And Salakia.
Concept.
Thinking about a rhetoric, right? That these bloggers, right? These Christian bloggers, I'm calling everything outside of the UPK Christianity. And the brothers in the UPK, sisters in the UPK, they already know that, right? But these Christian bloggers, they're gonna tell you that, especially the ones that make an excuse to sleep with canines, right?
Good night.
Especially the ones that like Lassie, right?
Right.
They're gonna say, I'm with this canine because a strong, beautiful sister that I really want, she's gonna. I'm trying to say this the best way, right? They say sisters are acting emasculate, right? Well, teaching a sister that sex is marriage is gonna stop her from acting emasculine, right? Because she's not gonna be sleeping with a bunch of random niggas.
Right.
There's not gonna be a graveyard of dead niggas' spirits in her box. She's not gonna be acting like every man that's ever broken her heart because she didn't take the time to get to know him.
Right.
Salakia.
Concept. Water for that. Y'all better be paying attention. Understand? Like, this is some real knowledge. These laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High left here for us. Like, this is our wisdom. This is what guides us. Bro, if you could grab the law is a light. It's in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 6 and verse 23.
Kind. Is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
God. The commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Brock, what does a lamp do? But what do you use a lamp for?
To see in the dark, I don't want.
God, absolutely. Right? Christ called us from darkness to come into the light. These laws are light. That lamp that you turn on, that guides you in the darkness. Right? You wake up at 2 in the morning. What did they do in the old days? Pull out that little candle, pull out that lamp, right? Light it up so that it could guide them to where they're going throughout the house. Right? That light guides you. Read that verse from the top.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, the
Commandment
law
is
is
a
light.
lamp. Your disgusting pastor would have you believe that the laws are done away with. These laws, statutes, and commandments we don't have to follow anymore. It is such a stupid thing to follow this poor leadership. These commandments guide you through life. You follow these commandments. You follow that simple command. You lay down with a sister, she's yours for life. Maybe that'll stop you from laying down with that woman who has the woman officer Zabadi was talking about, that has 20 different man's spirits inside of her. You wonder why you're fighting with this woman that has all these different personalities. This woman who has this bipolar disorder. Well, maybe if you followed the law, statutes, and commandments, you wouldn't make that poor decision to lay down with a sister that has 100 body counts. Who, when you lay down with this sister and you make her your wife, you wonder why she's cheating on you with the next man. These commandments are your light. They guide you. Keep reading.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Calm. And it reproves you. It lets you know when you're going off. It's your guide. It lets you know when you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. You're doing something you shouldn't be doing. When you read the commandment that says, stop eating pork, you stop doing it. You correct yourself so that you can enter into that life. You understand? These laws, statutes, and commandments are good for us. Right? But I wanted to get into multiple wives, but we're just getting over the time. So Salaki, officers of body, anything you want to bring out?
Multiple wives is cool, Salaki.
Yeah, right.
Right? And high value men are in the UPK. I don't know, man. Like, good night. The Bible tells us to stay away from the culture of the heathens, right? Like, we've been talking about a sister's hedge for protection. Levi and Simeon, they killed a whole village, a whole town, because their sister was abused by an Hamite, the same as the Hamite on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Right? I just seen a clip of 3 brothers. I think it's Yashikar. I think it's Issachar. They beat a stepfather to death. This is what the report is saying. They put a stepfather to death because he was molesting their sister, right? And that's what protection of a sister looks like. Now, I'm not saying that you should be putting people to death, because the Bible says murder is wrong, right? But listen, Good night. I might go into the yard for life and raise up the whole yard. I'll leave it at that. Good night. The whole yard will get raised up after that one. Yeah, I'll be like, Honor? I did it. Y'all listen to Captain Star Wars First 48? I did it. Good night. Salaki, I'm going to leave it at that. To our class, huh?
Concept, the water said. Trooper Brock, y'all, anything you want to bring out?
A lot of one.
No set. So with that said, we're gonna end Tuesday night brotherhood class. All right, let's clap it up.
Oh, Salakia, the sign out link. If you haven't put it in already.
So Salakia, I'll make sure I get the sign out links in the chat. Make sure you sign out before we end the class. All right, I'm gonna do the I.S.U.P.K security announcements, and I'll make sure I get those sign out links in the class.
No sweat. If you're doing the security announcements, I'm gonna get the sign out links right now.
Okay, come on, concert for water.
No sweat.
All right, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Purim on the 14th of February. We also have the Lord's annual 53rd annual Passover coming up. Make sure you get a hold of your camp leader. We have a link inside the chat. Make sure you check out that link. Check in with your camp leader if you need more details about the Passover. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israelite Majim, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yah Bashim Shabrak, Yad Yamata, Sar, which means turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatham Bashim Ashar, Yad Yamata. Class dismissed.
I'm dropping the last of these sign out links.
Concert. Hey, we'll let this play. Just make sure, you guys hit those sign-up links. Sign in if you didn't already sign in. We can check out this Passover video one more time. All right, shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Lord's Passover.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the I.S.U.P.K down in Florida. I'm Captain 10,000 Shamoyala. We here to let you know the 53rd annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida. It's going down in South Florida, Cocoa Beach.
Friday, April 15th, 2022.
The lamb, the wine, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you understand? Good music, good weather, palm trees, the whole nine.
This is going to be glorious. Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
April 15th and the 16th. Don't just book for the 15th. Book for the 15th and the 16th.
It's going down Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
Moses told Pharaoh we need 3 days to be able to go out into the wilderness and serve our power the way he commands. You're going to have to get that off with your boss, with your slave master. So make sure you in the building. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th to 16th, 2022. It's going down. We'll see y'all there. Shalom.
144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000.